Sugar City Morning Show.
Sugar City Morning Show. What a beautiful morning. What a beautiful day. Folks, it's Friday and it's the 5th day of June 2020. We say hello to you from Orange Walk throughout this country of Belize, right throughout the nation, and everyone in the different platforms when it comes to social media, viewing us. We say good morning. My name is Robert Checky Usher, and welcome to the Sugar City Morning Show. What a beautiful morning. What a beautiful, beautiful day. We went to sleep last night. We wake up this morning and we have to give thanks. 3 persons don't text me, ask me to play a bolido. No. Uno buy bolido, uno listen for how I play. I know get to play it, but I try to get it. What happened is uno need to hear the number when they play, man. Suppose you lost your ticket or you go wash your shirt or your pants and you left your ticket in there. Alright, so after the prayers and stuff, we are telling them about the bolido. Because I don't really know we play. But bolido play 6:30. 6:30 play. That's not the number we play. Bolido are drawn at 6:30 in the evening. I don't really know for what station it come on, but I think it's on Love and some of those other big networks from Belize City. And it's on BBN as well. And Sunday morning, be 10 o'clock usual. So as soon as we get the bolido number, we are share it. Because the man say bolido who play now, so people want to know we play. Hello, good morning, Delvi.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Checky, and good morning to everyone listening.
Cal, you sound so bright today.
Well, thanks God, Mr. Checky. I am breathing. I feel well. Thanks God. So it's a beautiful day.
It is a wonderful day. What a wonderful, beautiful day that the Lord has given us, right?
Yes.
And it's our responsibility to do what we do daily, and that is to give thanks and praise.
Amen. Every day.
Right, so let's do that.
We can. All right. I just like to share one verse, and then I'll go straight into the prayer.
Okay, sure.
All right. Psalm 115, verse 1, it says, "Not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but your name give glory, because of your mercy, because of your truth." Almighty and Heavenly Father, Lord, this morning I come before you once again, Lord, giving you thanks for just another beautiful day, O Lord. Thank you for blessing us with the breath of life. Lord, thank you for filling us with your spirit, oh God, to be able to get up and to move, Lord. It is indeed a blessing. And not unto us, Lord, we are not the ones deserving of any praise, of any honor, of any glory, but you do, Lord. For it is by your grace that we are here. It is through your great love, Lord, that you sustain us, that you keep us, and to you belong all the honor and the glory. So I give you the honor, the glory, the praise, Lord, the way that only you deserve. And as we go about this thing, I just pray that you continue to bless each and every one of us who you are not through it yet. I pray that you bless the members of this show, Lord. I pray that you bless them continually. Fill them with the passion, Lord, with the spirit to do what it is that you've placed on their hearts to do, and that others may be blessed by it, oh Lord, and hopefully be changed by what they hear and experience. I give you thanks, oh God, for how wonderful you are. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen.
That is a real powerful prayer, Delvi.
Well, Mr. Checky, to God be the glory. And whatever he allows us to do, he is a living God, so there has to be a move. There's bound to be a move in one way or the other.
Yeah, and all prayer is powerful in its own context, right?
In its own, yes.
In
its own.
Yeah. So have you heard anything education-wise?
Well, in terms of school reopening, no. But the third edition for the newsprint, I believe it was released yesterday. That ministry is providing for the kids to do at home. So that is still ongoing, with the educational packages for the kids to complete. They are still doing the online radio the radio and program for the kids as well.
Right.
And so in terms of education, what that's about. Yesterday, I was texting it one of my teacher friends. She was a principal actually, and no word yet as to when school will be open. So we're just wait and see what will happen.
Do you know how parents or students can receive these packages that they issue out? Is there a location that they can pick them up or they drop them off?
I don't know all the locations, but here in Trial Farm, I have picked up from two different locations already. That is the Best Friend Chinese restaurant. That's right, Chinese store. Sorry, that's right across from the basketball court here in Trial Farm. And then there's the other Chinese by across from the hospital.
Oh, okay.
Across, I can't remember the name, but there.
Okay, saying that I understand. Okay, I'm remembering now. I understand one is by the Uno gas station, by Mr. Done gas station, the Chinese that is over there. I understand that you can pick up there. There was some other area in the Blackwater Creek. Yeah, just to remember now. So, what are they actually issuing in these packages?
I have gotten the 2 editions so far. The third one I need to pick up from my son, but Mr. Check, they are very clear. It focuses from preschool all the way up to 7 and 6. They focus on the 4 major subjects. There is a bit of math, a bit of language arts. We see like a bit of history, social studies, and science.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And in it, they put in, like, based on the class level, materials that we can find in our educational curriculum. So when they sit down and, like, if your child is in standard 4, just for argument's sake,
Yeah.
and you go to the standard 4 section, you're going to find materials that your child may have seen or may have not seen, but is under the standard 4 curriculum. Right? The same thing, whatever is in standard 5, it's focused on the outcomes from the standard 5 part of the curriculum and so forth. So it is very helpful, and they have some very good materials.
Okay. So this is like continuation of works that the kids didn't have the chance to do because of the COVID, or it's something different?
The way how I am seeing it, some the packages that I've seen, it's like a continuation. For some, it's refreshment, because the very first package that we got, it focused on number theory, and teachers would know that number theory comes like in first term, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the second package, right? At the second package, they had learning outcomes from second term, and mind you, it's not going to be all of them, because all of the outcomes cannot be shown in a newspaper. It's too much.
True. Yeah.
But for what it's worth, it has some very good exercises, and I like that they have sections where families can participate. Right there was a game in the first edition that my son, my mom, and Miss Betty, we played it here with our dice, and it's really fun. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
I hope parents get to engage with their kids with it as well.
So how will the ministry or the schools get to know if these students have done their work, their assignment? Do you have to send them back in? How it works?
What we are asking our children to do, because there is an online copy as well. For those who have access to internet, they get the online copy, right? And then, they can print it out and stuff. But for those who don't, that's why they have the newspaper. So what we're asking our parents to do is to please, as when the child completes it, save it up. So, parents get to be, accountants now, bookkeepers.
Yeah.
To file it, to save it, because there will be a point, Mr. Checky, where we go back to school. I don't know when, but we'll get to go back. So then at that point, then we're going to be asking, and it's the parents' responsibility now to give an account of where these papers are. So we ask our parents to please compile them, save them, that when that point comes, then we get to say, see, this is what my child has done. And to check, like, before we reach that point, well, I have a chat group. I believe several other teachers have a chat group with their class. We send in occasional texts, and the parents take picture of the completed work and post it on our WhatsApp chat group, and then we see, you know, we make corrections through online. You know, fix this or change that and like that.
So in this, the student get it done, but in all this, the parents plays a big role in this as well, right?
Yes, they do. Because children will be children. A minute to a page they are, the next page they are, and
yes,
you know?
yes. So, what would you like to say to those parents out there that haven't looked into nothing when it comes to this as yet, and say, no, my picked it up a holiday and I don't understand anything there, I not going to pick it up, I don't have internet. What would you like to say to these people that might be thinking in that direction?
You know,
as a teacher and as a parent.
Yes, as a teacher, you know, it's the wealth of information that your child should be getting but is missing out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to encourage parents to, you know, find a way. And the newsprints, they are free. The newsprints are free, and even if you don't understand everything, you know, there can be a neighbor or maybe a teacher in your area that say, you know what, Miss, I don't understand this, and I'm pretty sure somebody would lend a hand and try to explain, right? But let's not deny the children of getting at least some of what they're supposed to be getting since we're not in the classroom. At the end of the day, you know, whatever we invest in, that is what will yield for us. You know, so I believe it's an investment in our children to help them as much as we can.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Well, I'm glad that program is out there and it's working, because I hear some of the programs on the radio as well, and they sound very entertaining, no?
Yeah. You know, like I mentioned, it will not cover everything because the curriculum is a lot. Mm-hmm. But for what it's worth, it's something, you know, and we're getting there.
Okay. Well, thanks for those information. I'm sure that those information will go a far way, because, you know, we cover the entire country, and so people don't really understand how it works, because, you know, there is limited publicity when it comes to where we can pick up those items, baby. We do it here on North Television Channel 10, but, you know, sometimes people just tend to forget, so I believe we have to start to mention it more so that people can know that, hey, you need to go and pick up these, right? These packages and get them done, and work with your child as well, you know. Make them not forget about the books completely.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, thank you very much, Delvin. Have yourself a good day, and get ready for the blessings today and over the weekend, because we understand we'll be having some more showers of blessings.
Yeah, I'm looking up on the weather, Mr. Checky. So
yeah, okay. All right.
You have a good one as well.
All right, thanks. Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. Folks, we're going to continue, and we will be checking in with the Belize Met service. It's already 15 minutes now. 15 minutes after 7 o'clock, and we will share with you right now that you know, we played last night in the Bolido. 19 come out, you know. The one never come out. 92 played in the Bolido last night. So that 19 people they buy. Sunday they come. No say I tell them if I buy it, you know, but Sunday they come. So 92 was a Bolido number for last night. I remember the Bolido play. The Bolido play 6:30 now. So no tune in, because tomorrow we won't have any live show, and when we are on the repeat, if you text and ask where play, then we can't tell where play. But once we are here, we will do our best to share that information with you all, right? And that's what we shared with you a while ago, that the number drawn in last night's Bolido was 9-2. 92, as we check in with the Belize Met service, we have Minister Aragon in the house today, and Minister Aragon will be coming up after our first break. It says today we'll be having cloudy with sunny breaks today, becoming mostly cloudy tonight. A few showers, periods of rains, and isolated thunderstorms will continue mainly over northern and central areas this morning, and then again tonight. So we might have rain today and tonight, and the sun was up at 5:17 this morning and will set at 6:25 this evening, and the moon will rise today at 6:34, and it will set at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's your general weather forecast right here. And we go more in depth when it comes to our weather here in this beautiful jewel of ours. Okay, so the general situation, it says mostly moist and relatively unstable conditions will prevail during the next couple of days. A 24-hour forecast: cloudy with sunny breaks today, becoming mostly cloudy tonight. A few showers, periods of rain, and isolated thunderstorms will continue mostly over northern and central areas this morning and then again tonight. As we take a look at the marine conditions, the wind are blowing east to southeast at 10 to 20 knots, becoming gusty, becoming west to southwest at 10 to 20 knots, and the sea state remains rough, and we have wave expected from 6 to 9 feet. Temperatures today in the coast 86 Celsius, inland 92, and in the hills 78. The outlook for Saturday and Saturday night is for some cloudy spells along with isolated showers or isolated thunderstorms during the day, and a few more occurring over inland and southern areas at first during the night. Small craft caution for gusty winds and rough seas, especially near heavy showers and thunderstorms. Flood watching remains in effect for likely flooding over low lying and flood prone areas and near rivers and stream. We have a high tide this morning at 9 and low at 4:26 today, another high tide 10:44 tonight, and a low tomorrow morning at 3:36. That is your general weather forecast, brought to you by the Belize Met Service and certainly by your Notification Channel 10 with forecaster Angela Guy. Folks, as we get ready to go on a break, we just want to share these death announcements with you all right here this morning. Then we go on a break. Then after that, we'll come back with Minister Aragon. As we are seeing here this morning, the Novello family announces the passing of a dear mother, grandmother, wife, sister, aunt, and friend. That's Cheryl Ann Novello. She was predeceased by her husband, Pastor Arturo Novello, her parents, Mr. and Mrs. David Flowers, brothers Wendell and Harold Flowers, sisters Carolyn Craig and Brenda Flowers. She is survived by her 6 children: Daniel Sr., Daniel and David, also Abner Novello. Abner Novello. Daughters, we are Candice Novello, Wilson, that is, also Christelle and Alia Novello. 1 grandson, Daniel Novello Jr., and 1 granddaughter, that's Remaya Skaggs. She is also survived by her brothers, that's Elwood Harrington and Peter Flowers. Sisters, Mabel Sutherland, Loretta Hyde, this thing they know a lot of writings, Eunice Usher. She leaves behind to mourn a host of other relatives and friends. There will be no wake, and the funeral service will be held on Sunday, June 7th, which is this Sunday, at the Carmelita Bible Church, chapel that is, and the body will lie in state at 2 p.m. Cheryl Flowers Novello, sunrise November 9th, 1963, sunset June 1st, 2020. We continue with a next death announcement. It is with deep regret and profound sadness that the August family announces the passing of Ernest Kenneth August. Sunrise 1st June 1944, sunset 31st May 2020. He was predeceased by his mother, Evelina August, father Cleveland August Sr., stepfather Hubert Barkey Wade, brothers Hallett August, Lloyd August, Cleveland August, and George Wade. He is survived by his wife of 50 years, Miss Olivia Elvira August, sons Brian Ernest Agas. Daughters, Miss Sherette Zelaya, Miss Samira Rivas, Juliet Bizer, and Genevieve Lambe. Brothers, William Agas, Frank Agas of Los Angeles, Thomas Agas, John Agas of Las Vegas, Selwyn Agas, and Frederick Agas. Sisters, Miss Grace, right here in Orange Walk, Miss Grace Agas, Julie Wade, Mrs. Maud Dunn from Arkansas, Mrs. Irma Bardales from Los Angeles, Mrs. Yvonne McLeod of Los Angeles, Mrs. Larita Wagner, LA as well, and Mrs. Clarine Bennett of Los Angeles. 13 grandchildren, a host of nieces and nephews. Due to the COVID pandemic that we're experiencing right now, the funeral service will be held tomorrow, Saturday, the 6th day of June at 11 o'clock, and the service will be at the Lord Ridge Cemetery in Belize City. So there is no church service, but the service will happen at the Lord Ridge Cemetery at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning in Belize City. With all due condolences to the families, the bereaved families, we take a short break right here, and when we come back, we will be joined by Minister Aragon right here on North Television Channel 10.
Have you ever noticed the development that's taking place in your town or in your city? Maybe it's because you've been too busy enjoying the results. More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward. Our economy benefits when goods and mobile services get to their destination quickly. When citizens are able to travel without frustration and undue hurdles, everyone benefits as well. The government of Belize is happy to announce the imminent upgrades to the Carazal-Sartaneja Road. 27 miles of road will be upgraded to paved standards and will include the replacement of 2 ferries with new bridges.
Why is it that we're going to invest in Sartaneja? Why is it that we have to take $50 million to invest in an area where we do not have a political directorate? We believe that as a government, we have to provide a service to all Belizeans.
Well, this for the village of Shunosh is a big advantage both ways. Sometimes when we got sickness, we got people sick at the clinic there, women. When we reach at the ferry, can't pass 45 minutes, have to wait. So now this road will benefit whole village, Sartaneja and Copperbank. I'm part of Progreso too. Well, it's really important for us.
I know that our village is not so much developed with tourism because it's a remote village. And for that reason, we don't have a lot of tourism over there. But now with this upgrading of the road and the pavement of the road, I think that it will be much beneficial for us and for everybody.
More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. DigiNet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. A nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, DigiNet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by DigiNet. DigiNet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush Franz, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
The San Ignacio-Santa Elena bypass project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional roadworks will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una. Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el balancín. Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Roche France, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado, German Vega & Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Roche France.
These sunny days are here, and whether it's for a picnic or in your kitchen, you need the meat. Gillette's Meat Shop proudly offers a variety of juicy cuts such as processed meats, ham, bacon, salami, longaniza, and sugar cure ham, just to mention a few. Enjoy our meats in beef, pork, and mutton. So for that healthy cut your family enjoys, visit us at number 18 San Antonio Road in Orange Walk from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12:30 and 3 to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Place your orders at 322-3486 or 322-2175 or even 610-4061. Send us an email at derekgillett31@gmail.com. Gillette's Meat Shop, fresh and processed meats.
Ay, qué rico. The ongoing technological evolution constantly transforms the way we live our lives. The introduction of our national fiber network creates the opportunity for Belizeans to live the digital lifestyle. Today, Digi is proud to introduce Dana, Belize's first artificially intelligent automated assistant. Dana is the modern customer service experience. Available 24/7, Dana can provide Digi prepaid and postpaid customers with directory information, credit and plan balances, product and promo information, and more. Just talk to Dana. Want to check your credit balance? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, what's my credit balance?
New Digi promotions? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, any new Digi promotions?
Dial 113 for directory assistance and dial 119 to talk to Dana. Digi remains committed to introducing the latest in cutting-edge technologies, transforming Belize one technology at a time. Try Dana today.
Thank you for calling Digi Customer Service.
Good morning, and welcome back. Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's 28 minutes now away from 8 o'clock. It's Friday, folks, and it's the 5th day of June 2020. And we have the great pleasure this morning of having in our presence the Honorable Minister Elodio Aragon. And we say, Minister, good morning and welcome to the show once again.
Good morning, Checky. And of course, good morning to all our radio listeners and TV viewers across this country. I just want to say a pleasant good morning. It's always a pleasure being here, and of course, we're here on a rainy weekend, as I said.
Yes.
It's been a whole week weather, but I think the blunt of the rains are coming down. This has come down from yesterday and up and continues today,
Right.
And maybe
right.
I think maybe even tomorrow.
Yes.
So we are here closely watching, because definitely we've had a whole week, rains on and off, and now this weekend we have had heavy rains. Last night I know a lot of rain came down, and that spells that there might be some areas that are low-lying, might be flooded, and we are watching that, especially here in the East Division, to see what is the situation. I know I've gotten one or two calls in certain areas, nothing major as yet, but of course the water is creeping up, and this is the thing we have to monitor, okay? And I think
Right.
not only in the east but across Orange Walk, no?
Yes, and I know you were telling me of a death in your area, in the east area.
Yes, and of course, I'll just take this time to again extend my condolences and sympathies to the Novello family on Liberty Avenue. My deepest sympathies and condolences to the family. It's always sad when you lose someone, And, Mrs. Novello passed away, and I knew her personally, and it's sad, Checky. I mean, it's heart-wrenching for the family too. It's really tough. Yeah, but our condolences go to the entire family, to Danto and his brothers, sisters, and the entire family.
Okay, Minister. The Prime Minister made a statement yesterday, but before that, last week when the Prime Minister spoke on Friday and said that we would have been opening up on Monday here in Orange Walk was so busy. We see so many people come into town get jam. We had traffic jam and everything. What does that say?
Well, I the way I look at certain things right now, in terms of Orange Walk, because every district is different, every community is different. I think in Orange Walk we really have some very productive people, hardworking, and I think our people in the north, I think they have the least savings, I think, for rainy days, and I think that is helping. Of course, I know there's a lot that is happening with the economy in terms of the fact that, you talk about, I think people have heard on the news, you have the leader of the opposition come out and talk about the foreign reserve and all of these things, or the need for foreign currency in the country, we need for opening the tourism back. There's a lot of discussion taking place out there as to how best to address the issues that we have. And I think the underlying issue has to do with the economy in terms of the COVID impact that we have faced, thus far here in Belize. And the COVID impact has been tremendous because it has disrupted the normal flow of our economy in terms of tourism, in terms of employment. So all of these things have had an impact on how the economy generates money, how government collects revenue, and how it now even disperses revenue at this point in time. And so all of these things have upset the economy. And it is about seeing how best we can get the economy back on track in terms of when we open our borders, when we open the airport, when we get back the tourism that needs to come in, dealing with the issue with foreign exchange. So all of these things definitely impacts Belize, and these are the kind of things I think if you listen to the newscasts or you're depending where or what sectors you're having discussion, whether in the business sector, whether on the person on the ground, the employers, wherever you are, I am sure certain discussions are being held, or being discussed. And I think these discussions are important because at the end of the day, I think the government wants to find the best way forward,
right?
To deal with these situations.
But also by that, Minister, by opening up some of these measures, we can see that only could have happen because of what Belizean people did, that they adhere to the measures. If not, we may have probably like the other countries may have locked down right now.
Like Mexico and thing, and other nations where have a lot of COVID cases. Yeah.
But persons follow, washing your hands. We don't see too much of the social distancing, they follow as it is, but we're still there, we're still getting there. What was the content of the message that the Prime Minister gave yesterday?
Well, I think the Prime Minister yesterday gave a press conference in regards to, and I think the biggest part of that is how we are looking at foreign exchange. I think that is a big part of his interview yesterday, and I think he brought up the dollarization in terms of the presenting a note for U.S. currency, right? In terms of being able to allow people now to bring in U.S. currency to Belize, no? Or people who have U.S. currency to come up with it and to basically, I would want to think that, I don't know how the economists would discuss that. I don't know if you call it one loan, etc. But it is something where the Prime Minister hopes to bring about foreign revenue, the foreign currency that Belize needs to Belize, no? So I think he announced that yesterday, and I think if I'm not wrong, he spoke about trying to raise $30 million US dollars, opening a note for that, and with that $30 million US dollars, I think he's looking at a payment plan in terms of giving a return of 6.5%, and I think 6.5% is very good, How that will play out, I don't really know. I think it is a matter for us to only time will tell in terms if Belize is able to generate that desired amount of foreign currency, no? So
how important it is for a country like Belize to have these foreign currencies?
Very, very important. People might say, well, we got with Belize dollar and this and that, why we need the foreign currency? The foreign currency is very important for any country because it lends itself to the productive sector, it lends itself to the people who are importers, business people who have to buy, because in this country we don't produce everything. Majority of what we consume in terms of whether it be laundry, detergents, food resources, vegetables, you name the thing what we import requires foreign currency. If you bring one shipment from the United States or from wherever you buy it, that transaction mostly is in U.S. currency. So we need the U.S. currency for these things to move slowly. And without that, it poses a challenge for our business people. So the U.S. currency is very, very important for Belize.
Someone was asking if you can explain, if you can remember clearly, they sent me the text before you came on, what the Prime Minister meant when he said that they are not looking at a definite date of July 1st with the opening of the airport.
Well, right now, I think the Prime Minister had mentioned, I think a number of weeks ago, that he was looking at July 1st. But there are issues that came up which compounded or made it difficult for the opening at June 1st, right? Was it June
July
1st?
1st.
Yeah. Was July 1st? Yeah.
We're in June right now.
Yeah, I think, all right, it was July 1st for the proposed date from, and I think that came up with some issues, etc. And the Prime Minister has now said that he will have to look at another date when we have to propose the opening of the airport, not the borders, because I don't think we could open the borders as yet. And I think that is general the general consensus out there that the border has to wait a little longer. In terms of the opening of the airport, I think that there are mixed discussions out there as when the airport should open. Of course, I think the Prime Minister has always pushed for the airport to be open, and that proposed date was the 1st of July. Things have kind of changed in terms that we are seeing if that will still possible or not. To a large extent, I think they are looking to push that back maybe another month or so. I'm not too sure, or weeks after that. But the fact is that the discussion out there right now is that, all right now tourism, in this country, the peak of our tourism is in the latter part of the year.
Right.
And right now there are issues because you can't just go and say, I'll open up and it happen overnight. You have a lot of things that are involved in making that happen. You have the airlines who have to sell tickets to come. They have to make them plans for the planes to begin to return here. It is a logistic kind of planning that needs to be done, not only with the airlines and stuff like that, but also with government and with the stakeholders within the tourism industry.
Persons, right?
Exactly. So a lot of things has to be in place there, and of course you have the threat of the COVID-19 virus. So all of these things have to be borne in mind, and I think that when you look at the whole situation, I know there are people out there who discuss, people within the industry who have discussions. I know if you talk to some people like Tropic and other people, they would want that open from tomorrow.
Sure, yeah.
Other people say, why risk the country for open up when you get a few tourism will come in, because I know the peak at the tourism industry anyway, and risk the country being affected again. Why we just not wait maybe another 1 month so that we prepare for the high season, So there's a lot of discussion out there, and I don't have the answers to these things, Checky. I look at it, I try my best to analyze the situation and see how we can go up. Like I say, I'm not the economist, I'm not, the expert in that field, but I do believe that we have to plan in terms of opening up the economy, and it starts with looking at the airport, because this brings about our greatest revenue earner to this country, which is the tourism industry, right? It will bring tourists that will then spend within this country, spend at the hotels that they stay, the resorts, they're spending what they buy and eat, etc. So that is important, and I think these discussions, I am sure that it's not just given a small thought process. These things go through. I know you have the oversight, National Oversight Committee. I know the task force that are out there. I'm sure these discussions are held there, and reasons are there why they have not. The goal is not set for July 1st again, but rather for maybe a delay in that. So these are the things that are being discussed right now, and I said in all walks of our community right now, all the various sectors, people are having these discussions, whether it be when we open the airport or what a situation with foreign currency and all of these things. And I think that is important to be held. No?
When the Prime Minister spoke, he alluded to about the persons involved in the tourism industry, and he said that he would be looking into the Development Finance Corporation, which is DFC, to see if they can do an adjustment on the interest of the rate. Has any of that discussed in cabinet?
Well, these things, of course, these things have to be studied and analyzed to see how best government can assist investors or people in business or the sectors such as agriculture and other areas, These things, of course, have to be given good thought, and the Development Finance Corporation, of course, is a mechanism through which government assists in these areas. But how that will play out, I am not sure. I know the Prime Minister is trying to see that it is people are able to access funds, and two, looking at the interest rate, because that is always important for people who borrow these funds. But again, the nitty-gritty of these things, like I said, I think these things are still in the making. It is about how we move forward. I know the Prime Minister spoke about where we are going to get some funds from the international financing agencies out there. But at the end of the day, of course, we have to be proactive. And I think the Prime Minister looking at the foreign exchange in terms of bringing up the plan in terms of how we will be able to try to generate some foreign currency, I think is important,
Yeah, when it comes to the unemployment relief, persons are still asking, but the Prime Minister mentioned and Dr. Carla Barnett mentioned that it was under 3,000 persons who are still on hold, but they are making special efforts so that these persons can get their relief as well. But as we can see, Minister, it was, I think, around 90,000 persons have applied, and if we have only under 3,000, then that's a good progress, and that they are working on it to see that these persons get some kind of prepaid card. Then right now, you hear people they call and say they don't get help. So the help is there, and there is a way forward.
I think for most part, people are getting their money once they were already approved. I think that is continuing. I think I had somebody who had texted me and said, they never get the second payment, but they get the third and the fourth already. And so, I think to a large extent these things are progressing well. Of course, everything you do, there are certain challenges and stuff like that. But I'm sure that the people who are looking at these things are trying their best to see how they sort it out. But again, like I said, Chucky, everything not perfect. There's always issues that comes up and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I am confident that this country will move forward in terms of the recovery. How long it takes, that again is another discussion. But I'm sure that the Prime Minister and the government is doing everything it can to put the best foot forward,
Yeah, but it's good, Minister, because, like me and might know how much work they're behind that with the economic czars, what they have to do for get all of this sorted out, and they have to go back to the committee, go to cabinet. But it's good that it wasn't left unheard, that they are working on it to make sure that these people get help.
And definitely one thing we can say is that the government is not hiding anything. Government, they're open about these things, open discussions. You have the leader of opposition, I think was on Channel 5 yesterday talking. I think he had one or two different conversations or discussions there. And of course, everything that is there has been brought about by the government. The government has brought this to the public and said,
he knows, right?
Of course he knows. These are the certain situations that we have to face. And this is not new and for people to say, oh, that only believes. This is being faced across our Caribbean brothers and sisters across Central America. So the issues and concerns that these nations are having are similar to what we're having in the Caribbean. What we go through is similar to the economies in the Caribbean. And every country is doing certain things. You have certain countries who are doing retrenchment of public officers. You have certain countries who are taking certain initiatives to try to see how they will raise the foreign currency. This is not something that we can say that the government is just throwing a blind eye to. No, it is being out there. It's being put out there for the kind of discussions that is necessary, and we are trying to find a way forward in trying to deal with that. And I'm confident that the government will find a way. And like I said, the Prime Minister has presented his plan, his approach as to how we can earn some foreign revenue. So
some of these countries that surrounded us, Minister, they are impacted very highly when it comes to the COVID-19, and some of them are opening their airports as well, but that's their prerogative. They know how they will do it and how they will handle it. That doesn't mean that Belize have to jump and do that as well, right?
Yeah, because of course if you look at every decision that is made by governments across the globe in terms of how they deal with COVID, everybody has their own challenges. You look at the great United States. Trump the call for open it up and thing that not gone as planned. He said we are open right from June. I think he was talking about that not happened to the extent yet that he wanted to. You look at Mexico. Mexico said when the COVID was around, he not worry about COVID, make people carry on in their business, but now then they're in a serious trouble in terms of the amount of infections and this in Mexico. So now they're locked down. We did it at the right time. I think the government has made the right steps from the start of this pandemic, and therefore I think we have done well. The challenge is now is how do we move from where we are now into bringing back the economy and these things. So of course we are not without challenges, and I think that at the end of the day we will find the solution. The solution is out there, and we have to find it. We have to be creative, and I think the Prime Minister coming up with how to get this foreign currency, I think goes a long way in terms of trying to show that something is being done. better than nothing. You understand me, Checky?
Yes,
And I do think that they not come without challenges, and of course, only time will tell how these things play out. But I am sure that if you look at and study the rest of the Caribbean countries, which have very similar economies to us, you will see that some of them are worse off than where we are. And so we just have to continue trying to be on top of the things that are unfolding now.
Well, the Minister, it's 8 minutes away from 8. We'll be taking a break, folks. Minister Rangon and Robert Checky Usher will be right back after these messages right here on Nortevisión Channel 10.
Let's go. Sa. First sense question of the day. Why you the letter here?
Who sent me the letter?
That sign right there. You can't read?
Well, make I tell you something. In this here community, everybody dump here, so me just dump my garbage right here.
So if somebody jump off a bridge, you that do it too?
Oh man, no.
You never know that littering is an environmental crime and Department of the Environment can charge you for that?
Why is that a crime?
Because you pollute the same environment you live in, dirtying the same land and water you use. You don't even know that you dumping garbage can make you and your family sick by attracting disease-carrying pests, and the Department of the Environment just to try help we take care of the we environment.
So all of that? Well, now that you put it that way.
Thanks for your 5 cents, brother. That's 5 cents question of the day.
This message is brought to you by the Department of the Environment.
You have an 8-cylinder powerful engine disguised as an aluminum alloy that spins at 8,000 revolutions per minute.
Goes like this. You think it's a turbo?
No, with a cleaning of injectors and a change of oil, you will run more efficient, my friend.
For those who understand the engine like it talks to you, we speak machine. Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
World-class spaces for Belizean athletes to thrive and fans to enjoy. Our new basketball and multi-purpose arenas have proven their worth, attracting regional and international sporting events and hosting expos, conferences, and proud graduates. Your government moving Belize forward.
The Philip Goldson Highway between Belize City and the Philip Goldson International Airport is getting a major facelift to the tune of $31.5 million. Section B of the highway upgrading project between Haulover Bridge and the Buttonwood Bay Boulevard roundabout is underway at an investment of $21 million. Works consist of the full rehabilitation of the road to paved standard, which includes the widening of the road to 4 lanes, lined sidewalks and drains, wide shoulders, median, and parking plus a bus lane at designated sections of the road. LED road lighting will be installed along with road safety features such as signs, reflectors, and road markings. The project will also facilitate in the improvement of underground infrastructure for the public utility companies. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
John Brisena says government needs to trim the fat. Let's take a minute to look at that fat.
Johnny Brisena receives a salary of $60,000 from the government to be the leader of the opposition and $84,000 for sports and community projects in his constituency. The People's United Party representatives receive about $993,000 annually from government to assist residents of their constituencies.
Since the COVID-19 state of emergency, the Prime Minister of Belize has given all his salary toward the relief efforts. The UDP ministers has given up a month's salary and allowances going forward. Johnny Briceño has not agreed to give up anything. The PUP representatives have not agreed to give up anything.
Leadership is about action, not words.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's 2 minutes away from 8 o'clock. We are live right here on North Television, Channel 10, and on East Radio 104.9. So you folks listening, you can call us at 302-2170. Minister, on February 9th of this year, the United Democratic Party had a national convention where Honorable John Saldiva was successful and won that convention. And right now, we were made to understand, I'm not sure if he resigned officially, but right now the Prime Minister is still holding on. We know an election is coming, due for November. We're not sure if that will happen. What's the party position right now when it comes to leadership? Will there be a next convention? What's your information on that?
Well, Checky, at this time, I think the government and the party at this point in time, their first priority and concern is for the people of this country in terms of how the government must manage the economy, how we must manage the COVID situation. All of these things, I think, is priority for the government right now, priority for the UDP. Of course, we have an election in November, that is when elections are due. And for sure, we'll have, when that time comes, or when we approach that time, and we're about 6 months away at least, I think, definitely we'll have to sort out certain things within the party. And one of those things is the leadership, who will be the next leader of the United Democratic Party. So I think those things have to be ironed out when the time comes, right, or before that time. If you ask me what date, if there are any plans on that at this point, all I know is the Central Executive Committee of the UDP has met to discuss these things. I haven't gotten any information in terms of what came out of that meeting, but I will say that definitely the party knows what it has to do politically. We're a mass political party, and of course we know what needs to be done. And there's a time, I believe, for everything. There's a time where it's about just raw politics. It's a time, there's a time for everything. Check it. Right now, we're in a time where we have to focus on Belize. We have to focus on how we get the economy back, how we manage the COVID, and I think that is a priority of the UDP at this point in time. I mean, the elections will come, and before that comes, of course, there are certain steps that will be made within the political party to see who we are find as the new leader, who will be, whether we have a convention or we have an endorsement. Whatever the case may be, something will have to give. And so, to me, that is not a major concern. It is a concern in that, yes, maybe the time is creeping up on us. But I think that in any day, the party has always solved that issue, and I don't see no difference in terms of that being the case. But for me, as a representative, and as a member in Parliament and in government right now, I'll tell you my priority and concern at this point in time is that of the Belizean people and our Belizean economy. To me, those are the top priorities right now that we must be concerned about. When the time of politics come, the time of politics that will be. But at this point in time, our safety of our people is paramount. Making the right decisions, putting the right mechanisms in place to being able to bring back our economy. And I think that is the focus at this point in time of the United Democratic Party.
Yeah, former Mayor of Belize City, Darrell Bradley, has submitted his application. Can someone run for a leader of a party if they do not have a they do not have a constituency?
Well, I think you have to belong to parliament, right, to be able to run.
That means you have to be what, an elected leader?
Well, so you one is, I think, I'm not too sure, but I think the constitution calls and talks about you being a member of parliament. So if you are the president of the Senate, or you are the...
Well, that is considered as parliament as well.
I think it would. Okay. I think that, so if you have to be, can you hold that position and still run for a party position? I'm not sure if that is allowed either. So there are certain things there that we have to look at. I mean, I know he's the Speaker of the House, so you know, and the question would be, can the Speaker of the House, which is a member of Parliament, can that person still run for political office and still hold the seat of Speaker of the House? And so vice versa, you know, if he leaves, then he's not a member of Parliament again. So, you know, so all of these things have to be looked at, and I know that we have several people who had put their names up for the leadership of the party, but again, people always put names, and people withdraw names too.
And other comes in.
Well, you know how things go. But my thing is that at this point, I don't think we are focused on that, Checky. I think that those people who are interested might be wholly looking at that. But at this point in time, for the majority of representatives right now, I think our focus from the UDP side is focusing on this country right now, because I think this is so important, and we can't lose focus on that. The election is slated for November in terms of the timeline for general elections, but we're a government, and we are governing here as best as possible. And I do think that when that time comes for politics, you will know, and the time will come, check it. So for me, everything with due time, and I think right now that priority is for this country and for its people. So that is where we are focused.
But the party will do its due process to elect a leader.
Of course, I mean, we have to. I think it is only right. And as we approached in terms of November, I am sure these things will be dealt with. I mean, listen, if we could do it within the next 3 months and take care of the government business in terms of opening up our economy back, ensuring that we secure the foreign revenue that we need, and all the other things that come with this. I mean, once you do that, then you focus now on the politics of things, you know. So I think everything is with time. And it's all about timing likewise, you know.
Last week on Ask the Export, when the Honorable Attorney General spoke, some questions were asked pertaining to education. And Dorian alluded to that he was going to see if he can get the Minister of Education on the show this week. I don't really know if that happened, but in terms of education, what are you hearing from the Minister of Education?
Well, as far as I know is that we are government is looking at, and the Ministry of Education is looking at how and when we can open classes, because, you know, I think that is a very important thing for a lot of parents across this country. They want to know when school will open. Is it safe to take your child back to school? All of these things that come with opening schools, you know. How will it operate when you're in the classroom? All of these things, in terms of the fact that the COVID pandemic is still here in the world, you know, it's still affecting us so and impacting us. So as far as I know, the Ministry of Education is looking on August, in the month of August, to reopen.
That's not confirmed.
That's what they're looking at.
Okay.
I could confirm you and tell you that is what they're working on.
That's for
which day and time. Now for open the schools, the primary schools and stuff. I mean, you know, schools, whether you go to university or sixth form or high school or primary school, I mean, which one might open first than the other? Well, that of course is dependent on the institutions, but I think to a large extent the government is looking sometime in August. Whether it be the 1st of August or mid-August, I am not sure. I know there's a lot of things depends on certain other factors, you know. Yeah. But definitely I think the government is looking at that, and I think that it is important that we begin to get back, especially internally in this country, and school is something very important, you know. Yeah. It's not only important for the kids, you know, it's important for the parents and things. So because remember, you're having your kid not in school, the work, you know, that is another thing you have to manage.
True, yeah.
And so I think it is important, and I think government is working on that.
Good morning. Ask the minister if any subsidy or help when it comes to education.
All right, very good question. From what I know from the discussions we've held, and these are just discussions, these are certain things that the Ministry of Education will have to conform. I am not at the Ministry of Education, and I know that the Ministry of Education and its staff and people who do all these analysis, etc., in terms of the financial situation. Remember, every ministry has its budget. Every ministry gets a budget. But remember, every ministry their budget has been cut now, because of this COVID, right? So I know the Ministry of Education is looking at it. I know the last discussion I had with the minister, and he had mentioned that definitely when we look at the subsidy, this is monies that were given to first, second year students automatic. They get $300.
Yeah. And then the Prime Minister was mentioning that from his speech in September for the independence, said that for this year it would be, for all government high school, it would have been up to fourth form, right? That was projected.
So, projected and all of these things. And I think for years, the UDP hallmark has been the support for education. And a lot of people have benefited from this program. And I think it goes a long way to assisting students to finish their schooling. It assists them and assists the country on a whole, because we got a better educated a group of young people, and so that is important. Now, the subsidy. I think last year also, certain things were done last year where the Ministry of Education said everybody in the rural villages automatically you get your 300.
Right.
So all of these things have transpired. Now, definitely the one way and be for the 4 year for you may get it the four years straight.
High schools.
I think that will not happen.
Okay.
What will happen is, from as far as I have been told, is that the subsidy was $300, right? Mm-hmm. That subsidy program will still continue, but instead of it being $300 or having massive cuts in different areas, in different districts or whatever, I think certain discussions have centered on where it will be, instead of $300, you'll get $200. So the subsidy will be cut down, but the program will not be cut. So the program will carry on, but instead of $300, that $200 you'll get.
Good.
Right? So I think, to me, that is very important, because it really pained my heart to know that that subsidy program would be cut, because that helped a lot of people. So at least now I know that instead of it being cut, we just minimize the amount of funding that people get. So
that's just in discussion, or that?
Well, that is the discussion that has been held.
Okay.
Like I said, I can't confirm because I'm not the Minister of Education.
Yeah.
The Minister of Education will have to do these things. I know that the Minister will be having a press conference on Monday, if I'm not mistaken, and some of these things should be highlighted there. Like I said, these are just discussions. Remember, Ministry of Finance and Education, especially Ministry of Education, has to go. They have to sit down and see what is possible. These are discussions that were held. I know they said that these are finalized as yet, Checky, but these are the kind of things where the government is looking. Like we talk about the amount of things that has to be done, the focus where we have to focus. These are the kind of focus that the government is doing, because at the end of the day, we want to ensure that we are here for the people of this country. And so I feel that the discussion based on that, if that can be the case, I think that is a good thing for students across this country. So instead of cutting the program, we just reduce the funding in terms of the amount of subsidy you get. Instead of 300, you get 200. Yeah. So, like I said, all of these things, the Minister of Education has to give the final word on these things. But these are where the discussions were held. Yeah.
This text says, "Good morning, sir. I'm listening to you on the radio. Do we have to apply for these subsidies?"
Well, I think it carries on the same way like last time. Like every year, if you may only get the 300 when you were in first farm, that means it should be automatic second farm. Okay. So the same things. The only difference might be at this point in time this year is that instead of 300, you don't get 200. So whatever process were in place, that will continue.
Yeah, that's a program from the government of Belize, and it trickled down to the Minister of Education.
Yes, and the Ministry of Education. Because the subsidy where you get the 300 first and second farm, that is not dictated by representatives. That is dictated through the Ministry of Education program. There is a program where they go and find those who need that help. Those are the people who are put on programs. And last year, all villages were automatic. Anybody who come from village will automatically get the 300 subsidy. So I think that should continue. I hope it continues to that extent. But like I said, and once that continues, instead of the 300, you'll get the 200. So to me, that is good news, good discussion. Like I said, the Minister of Education will have to look at that. I think they have done that, and and I ask everybody to tune in on Monday to the Minister of Education's press conference, and I think he will highlight a lot of these discussions, and may highlight a lot of the questions that people may have. Again, people might ask me, because that caller just touched and centered on subsidies.
Right.
But there's also the program where the government assists students financially, not in effective dollars, but where monies go towards their tuition at their respective school institutions, right? That program, again, I haven't gotten no final word to say that program is still ongoing, and this is the amount of money that will be allotted. I cannot confirm this as yet. We are waiting on the Ministry of Education to confirm what the situation will be. So I ask all those students who we have always helped, and those who are in need, to give us maybe another 2 weeks, or maybe after next week we might know what or where we stand with that. But definitely, I think that was a very important program, because we assisted tremendous amount of students. For getting only additional 200 towards their tuition, only 300. You have people at different levels of the education system who require that support, and I think the government over the years has done a tremendous task in assisting these needy students, and I think that I wouldn't want to see that not happen this year. I would want to see it, even if it is in less funding, you understand me? But I think it is important, because there are really people out there who need a little extra push, and I'm hoping that we get those funds so that we can reach out to those people, So I ask people in my constituency to just give us at least another 2 weeks, so we will know where we stand with that, But I mean, if that doesn't come around, then we'll have to find one way or the other, as responsible parents, to see what we can do for our kids.
Throughout the year, Minister, but they got two seasons in there, which is Christmas, and this time going back to school. Subsidies are there. Some people fall in a situation, they cannot buy uniform, they can't buy books, and so do you all as representative get anything from government to help these kind of situation when it comes to persons going to the area rep and say, Minister, I need this to buy that? We don't get anything.
No, we don't get no money. There's no funding that comes for you to assist people with school uniforms and these things. None at all. I have always, every year I've done my back to school program. I've done that the best I can in terms of getting people to assist me with bags and stuff like that. I usually have my summer program, which, the kids will come out, I usually, for 1 week, we give them the school bag and things like that. But, those are initiatives that we do on our own. As far as I know, we don't get no funding. I don't get any funding in terms of helping people with uniform, with them books and stuff like that. That, as far as I know, we don't have that. All I know we have is the assistance that we can assist people towards their tuition.
Okay. Well, thanks, Minister. We'll be taking a break. It's 15 minutes after 8 o'clock. We have been nationally since we started, So when we come back, we're going to go local and see what's happening in the East as well. It's 16 minutes now after 8 o'clock. You are listening to the Sugar City Morning Show live on the East Radio and also on North Television Channel 10. Minister Aragon and Robert Cheque Usher will be back after these messages right here on North Television Channel 10.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and the pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan muriatic acid now in 900 milliliters. And much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walk Town. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
Have you ever noticed the development that's taking place in your town or in your city? Maybe it's because you've been too busy enjoying the results. More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward. Our economy benefits when goods and mobile services get to their destination quickly. When citizens are able to travel without frustration and undue hurdles, everyone benefits as well. The government of Belize is happy to announce the imminent upgrades to the Carazal-Sartaneja Road. 27 miles of road will be upgraded to paved standards and will include the replacement of 2 ferries with new bridges.
Why is it that we're going to invest in Sartaneja? Why is it that we have to take $50 million to invest in an area where we do not have a political directorate? We believe that as a government, we have to provide a service to all Belizeans.
Well, this for the village of Chunosh is a big advantage both ways. Sometimes when we got sickness, we got people sick at the clinic there, women. When we reach at the ferry, can't pass, 45 minutes have to wait. So now this road will benefit whole village, Sartaneja and Copperbank. I'm part of Progreso too. Well, it's really important for us.
I know that our village is not so much developed with tourism because it's a remote village. And for that reason, we don't have a lot of tourism over there. But now with this upgrading of the road and the pavement of the road, I think that it will be much beneficial for us and for everybody.
More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. Diginet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. A nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, Diginet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by Diginet. Diginet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush Franz, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega and Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's exactly 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. It's a lovely, beautiful morning. Minister, how you doing? Enjoy the rain?
Boy, the rain is good. You know what? I think we have to look at everything and be blessed by the work of the good Lord. You know, I mean, sometimes when we don't got rain, we cry. Oh, got drought. We got rain. We have to be thankful that the Lord has blessed this country with the water, because I will tell you, a lot of farmers needed it. Right now, some farmers, they get too much.
Yes.
I know the guys in Blue Creek are taking a lick with the rice fields that are underwater, and you have, of course, other farmers elsewhere who are feeling the pinch in the amount of rain, you know. And of course, the rain has also affected cane farmers because the factory closed down because they get too much dirt, right? Too much mud with the stuff, and so they closed down, I think, for 1 or 2 weeks. But the fact is that it has impacted farmers. So, how would I put it? It's blessed if you need it and you get the correct amount of rain. But again, maybe you're not blessed if you're undated, you know.
Yes.
So I think it's all depends where you are and what impact it has done upon you, you know. So, but I do think that we can't fight with the good Lord. If the Lord send me water, well, that we get, you know.
Yeah.
And I think we have to make the best of it. But definitely, I think the water was needed. Remember, the meteorological office. What did they say? Met service. We may have got drought this year, but a lot of rain right now. So, you know, but it is what it is, and I think that the impacts that come about with our weather, we live with that every year. Whether it be drought, whether it be too much rain, you know. All I'm hoping is that this year we don't have no hurricanes, you know, because that can be another thing in the pot. But so, you know, I always believe that we must be blessed. We have to thank the good Lord for giving us life every day, and if He send we rain, well, we have to cope with that, you know, and be glad, you know.
Someone sent a text, Minister. They want to know when will your office open.
Office already open. People can go there. It says as of Monday we are officially open.
Okay.
Last week I had people working there. Our staff was there preparing, getting ready, you know, cleaning up, and everybody getting back to their desks to prepare for the opening, which was this Monday. So our office is officially open to the public as of Monday. This Monday here. So we are open and we welcome people to come in.
Your office was what, Monday to Friday?
Monday to Friday.
Okay. The last time you were here, you spoke about some ongoing projects in the east. We spoke about the one in Santa Marta that the truck was supposed to go there, and the project going on at Louisiana School and the Sandy Field. How has the rain affected these projects?
Yes, of course. I know the contractor at Louisiana School, because of the heavy rains. I think I think work is not fully right now, you know, because of the rains. So I'm sure as soon as the rains ease up, I think they'll get back to work, you know. But the work has already commenced. Tremendous work has started in terms of the foundation and all of that. I think last week we had put up some pictures of the people working there and things. So that work continues. That, like I said, that is a set program that will continue, and I'm hopeful that we finish at school very soon and we can have the inauguration of that spanking new building. You know, of course, at Sandy Field we have the bleachers going. I think the bleachers are the main part of the bleachers are done. We just need to put the shed on top, and also I think the dugouts need to be done. I was on the ground last week with people from BEL. To see where we'll put the lampposts, you know. Because we already have the lights, so just a matter now, forget the lampposts up, the electricity, and put up the lights. And of course we have to, before all of that, why we were out there is because that has to be aligned, you know. The football post has to be moved in terms of, we have to square it off. Well, I think that's the word where people use. We have to square it off so that it stays properly. No?
It has to be in line.
In line, because that Sandy Field has a little slant. You know, if you know what they talk about, or you're living a
you're my goalkeeper, right?
You know,
you're still going at the goal sometime, or what?
I used to play ball, but now not much. Not much football, more basketball.
I'm right there. I'm a good player.
I used to play ball.
Used to play too.
I don't think they might used to play. They might play other things. But definitely, these works will carry on, because these have been planned and we slated with those, so that is not a problem. So with the weather and all of that, of course, you know, we might have leaky backs, but it won't stop these projects, none at all. So these are ongoing. In terms of the water that you mentioned, the new water that the hole that we wanted to dig in Santa Marta, that is still slated for. The truck was here. Like I said, we had a delay with the truck in terms of repairs, but with this weather, we have that as soon as the weather eases up, we should get that. You know?
Okay, so but you said Santa Marta have water, right?
Yeah, they have water. They're not like they don't have water. It is just that we want to find a new water hole that will be able to provide better water. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything when it comes to the streets in the east, like less lot of rain.
Well, last week I took a spin in the east. I went all over the Pacific because I went to the water prone areas in terms of where we might have developments in terms of the increase in water due to the rains and stuff like that. But I went out there. There's no major flooding that I saw out there. Of course, you have the street condition that some areas need to be looked at, and certain areas in terms of we're always prone to water. Of course, you see only water come up. Some of these areas within our division will always have issues when it rains because of the mere factor of where they are located. And and we'll always have these issues, but overall we didn't have much major issues. I know we got a call from someone in Carmelita and someone in Orange Walk from the east, and I had asked Nemo to direct them to see what assistance they can do and for them to do an assessment to see what can be done. I think in these times it is good for you to note if you live in one low-lying area. Then you know that when it dries up and stuff, then you have to try get some material for help you next time,
Yeah.
So I think at this point I haven't gotten no major issues. I know in Carmelita, one or two culverts need to be replaced. I have asked the Ministry of Works, Mr. Jones, to look at it. He went out there to do an assessment to see where we can do. But these are the little things that with every rain, you come and you find out certain areas need work and this and that. And as soon as the rain subsides, we'll try getting there for deal with these issues on a better scale, in terms of getting the work done. But these are the little issues, I think, and I am always concerned about the rain because last night when you're hearing the rain, it come down, your mind goes out to areas that always suffer, and people that live in there. I wonder, I lay down and I hear the rain, I say, shucks, the rain has been ongoing. I know that we only could swell water, so much water only could swell in terms that the ground can only suck so much water. And after that water don't suck by the ground, water goes up. And these are my fears because I know we have people in certain low-lying areas that always are affected with the rain. So
the people on Tower Hill get affected by the rain to like they got a smoky mermaid right there that not really come up.
Well, it comes up, but not that much.
Tower Hill.
I know Tower Hill, it comes up, but I don't think we ever get major. We got where maybe culverts are blocked and things like that. But you know what, when I look at things and I worry about it at times because we have been having a lot of weather. If it continues to an extent where we might have little areas, and I'm sure Nemo is looking at these things likewise. But when you look at the news and you see what is happening in Salvador and these places, Guatemala, I mean, the amount of torrential rains and they flood out and the whole areas are washed away. I mean, they take one lick, and I'm glad to know that we have not gotten to that extent as yet. Yes, we have had little floodings across the country. You could see certain areas and that, but it has not gotten to the point where we could set on one disaster. And I'm thankful of that because, at this point in time, nobody can deal with any kind of additional expenses, additional pressures, So, I'm hoping that the rain, carries on, or when it finishes, I hope that all of our Belizeans are intact,
Yeah. Any information when it comes to identifying the property for the police station in Carmelita?
Well, that is already identified. We have done all the groundworks, the soil testing and all of that. I think the ministry had already selected the contractor for that. Monies were already allocated in terms of in our budget this year. I am yet to sit with the CEO to see how much of that money is still there based on what has transpired with the COVID-19, And so that I at this point in time, I have to sit with the CEO and the Ministry of Finance to find out what funds are available for that. I am hoping the money is there so that we could get that police station because I think it's needed for everything that will come about in that village. I mean, we're having a lot of land expansions that are being done there. You have the factory in terms that may open within the next 6 months or 8 months from now. So I think that police station is important.
Let's get this call, Minister. Hello, good morning, SugarCity Morning Show.
Morning, Checky. Morning, Honorable.
Yeah, morning, sir. Morning.
Yes, morning, sir. Tell me, go ahead.
Yeah. Honorable.
Yes, morning, sir.
Look here, we got one lead problem in your area around your Belize Road.
Okay.
So one long time, I call several people, well not people, I call the radio station, I don't know who can start, but the lead sidewalk right front of Prosa, one man hold it there. I see children drop in it.
What?
I see adults drop in it, one man drop in it with the bicycle, one man on it, when they walk, they sell the greens, they cilantro and things, drop in at the hole by accident, one man hold. I don't know for that place, I don't know what happened to it because I don't know if we got the cover or what. And you know, got no cover on it. And people they drop and they get hurt in it. I don't know if that's tongue board, I don't know that who responsible for it.
I think the tongue board responsible for that.
I don't know.
Because I think,
I call and apparently nobody here look like
Yeah.
falling at their face. I just hope nobody not broke their neck or broke their foot.
Yeah.
And it will be one serious thing because that thing they open for a long time and I call over and over. See people they get hurt in it straight.
That front of Prosa? Front of Prosa?
Plus,
the front of Prosa, Mkala?
Right front of Prosa.
All right.
One man hold the right there, that thing open.
Okay.
Sometimes the people put one piece of stick in it where to show that, you know, but people pass there and mischievous.
Yeah.
They take it out and then throw it away.
Yeah, well.
And then by the big mango tree, sir.
Uh-huh.
The water, I don't know if the tongue board in charge of it. They need to come and clean that place because water settle there and the water now they run and when they cross the street again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When cars damage Chicago after the street soap a certain while, they run over it in a mash up.
Right.
I wish they could have call. I'm glad you're there right there, Honorable, and I know you will take care of it, but this man road is dangerous. I not just know, Checky could tell you, I not just know what the car about it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I asked Public Works to look on it, but it is the responsibility of the town council to look into those matters because those are drains within the town, right?
Yeah,
No matter who built it, if the government had built those things at the end of the day, it is the responsibility of the town council to maintain those drains and maintain the manhole. If the manhole broke up, then they need to put a new one, no?
Yeah, but yourself as a area rep, you look.
Of course, we'll have to look. I will ask them, town council, not town council, the Public Works, to take a look at those things because I think I saw there's more than one issue like that. I am sure. So we'll have to make them maybe take an assessment and look on it.
Right here on before you turn down there by Zeta, yeah, they have one big piece of board in there, like one.
For sure that there's the manhole cover is not there.
Yeah, but it's like you don't want to leave it on the street and go hurt people.
Yeah.
Too,
Ask Public Works for take one spin pan that and look at those things. Because I sure they could knock up something there. Yeah.
Yeah, but talking about all that, Minister, when you started, I remember you were working in Santa Marta on the road. You were working on different projects with the computer lab in Chanpine Ridge, bleachers. How are these facilities keeping up?
Well, right now, they're under the. I think Chanpine Ridge has always been under the PUP Village Council. I don't know what is the condition in terms of the lab because they were handed all the keys to the community center, to the computer lab. But from what I'm told, that the center is non-functional at this point in time. In Champion Ridge, right? In Tower Hill, I know the chairman brought the computers back so we could try to get them back up and working. And we are trying to find funding to get new computers for some of these computer labs. So, of course, there's always challenges with these things, but definitely at this point in time, I think you have the village councils that are there are responsible for these things because whatever you do for the community. And whoever is responsible in terms of the community, whether the UDP or POP council, then those are the people who are responsible, Checky. I think that whatever you do, they're not it is for the people. Yeah. So everybody must take their charge, and if it is a POP village council that is responsible, then they are in charge of those areas. So definitely, I think we need, how would I put it to you? I would want to see better labs, more labs. I know Carmelita doesn't have a computer center. That is something that we were looking on, and we still look at, because I think it is imperative that in the villages we have these computer labs, because it lends itself to all our young people who need that access. Because sometimes, you don't have the access to your house.
Yeah.
And I think it is important that we get there. I know Champion Richard have one of the best computer labs, functioning labs and that. So, where that is, well, they have to ask the chairman because we have never held office there, after we had built those. So definitely in Santa Marta, the problem we have with Santa Marta is that we don't have the Wi-Fi internet.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
The services not reach it.
Not reach there. We have been in talks with BTL, trying to get them to provide the service because that is essential service now. And not only that, but I think that would lend itself to the education of our people in that area because once you bring that Wi-Fi in and people have access, they have access to the world.
True.
To information, to news, people will be more exposed to these things, which I think is a good thing, and it lends itself to the development of our people. So those are areas that we are looking at. But definitely, Cheke, if you ask me about work in the East, we have never stopped working, and the work will never end. Because I will say, you do this, you have other things that needs to be done, and there's always tremendous work that needs to be done within the entire East constituency, not only the villages, but also the part in the town. And we continue to remain committed to that, to do the best we can with that. And, like I've always told people, I'm always there. Our office is open. I might can't solve the whole world problem, but I'm there to see how best I can assist,
Yeah. Well, Minister, we're taking our final break of the morning. So I take a coffee break now. I hear aroma open, so next time when you come and take a aroma break.
Yeah.
But right now we have to take a short break, folks. And Minister Aragon and Robert Cheke Usher will be back after these messages right here this morning on North Television Channel 10.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
The San Ignacio-Santa Elena bypass project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional roadworks will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una. Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el... ¿Balancín? Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Roche France, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Roche France.
The sunny days are here, and whether it's for a picnic or in your kitchen, you need the meat. Gillette's Meat Shop proudly offers a variety of juicy cuts such as processed meats, ham, bacon, salami, longaniza, and sugar cure ham, just to mention a few. Enjoy our meats in beef, pork, and mutton. So for that healthy cut your family enjoys, visit us at number 18 San Antonio Road in Orange Walk from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12:30 and 3 to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Place your orders at 322-3486 or 322-2175 or even 610-4061. Send us an email at derekgillett31@gmail.com. Gillett's Meat Shop, fresh and processed meats.
Ay, qué rico. The ongoing technological evolution constantly transforms the way we live our lives. The introduction of our national fiber network creates the opportunity for Belizeans to live the digital lifestyle. Today, Digi is proud to introduce Dana, Belize's first artificially intelligent automated assistant. Dana is the modern customer service experience. Available 24/7, Dana can provide Digi prepaid and postpaid customers with directory information, credit and plan balances, product and promo information, and more. Just talk to Dana. Want to check your credit balance? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, what's my credit balance?
New Digi promotions? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, any new Digi promotions?
Dial 113 for directory assistance and dial 119 to talk to Dana. Digi remains committed to introducing the latest in cutting-edge technologies, transforming Belize one technology at a time. Try Dana today.
Thank you for calling Digi Customer Service.
Sugar City Morning. Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Minister Aragon and Robert Checker Usher right here with you. Minister, the Met Service just sent out a report and saying that we should be having more rains coming between today and tomorrow and into the weekend.
Right. Well, that's the forecast thus far, and that is why I say the amount of rain we could get within this period, we don't get enough, I think, over the week. I know this weekend look like got heavy rains, but like I said, we just have to look at these things. I know Mr. Boya, I assume that Boya will make
Mr.
right?
Boya.
And definitely I have people looking at it already. We are taking pictures. I've had them. My people gone out and we take some pictures of the drains, and I think we have the two where you mentioned, the one at Zeta.
Yeah, one in that area.
And the one that where Mr. Boya mentioned, and we'll be sending that to Ministry of Works to see what they can do,
Yeah.
And make we fix that up, because definitely it poses a danger, because if you don't know that the hole there, you just drop in there, you really could hurt yourself,
Yeah, Minister.
But thanks for bringing that up to it.
And thanks for the persons who have sent those pictures as well.
Yeah.
Minister, we have new measures right now, like today the curfew goes up until 9 and also on Saturday, and we see I'm sure that you're happy to see the tacos vendors out selling their tacos and people selling their hot dogs. And
I'm glad for that, because Checky, I know a lot of them out there, personally, and they take one lick. I know they have been taking a lick, and I'm glad to know that now they cooperate, because that's where they make their livelihood from, And not only that, but it is a service they bring to the community, which is important, especially people who work and then they need $2 tacos and then good to go.
Yes, yeah.
So it's a service they provide likewise that is essential to our community. So I'm glad for know that they are working. Government has extended the curfew up to 9 o'clock, right?
Only Fridays and
Only
Saturdays.
Fridays, Saturdays, yeah. So, that again gives the families a little bit more time, because sometimes, we have to be mindful that we're a social being, in terms that we we live within a community. You go visit your ma,
True.
and boom, you say, "Mommy, I have to leave you already," because
don't
you
need
know,
that
and
money.
all of these things. So we live in town, but we have family all over villages, you know, and of course, I think giving them the extra time will allow people a little bit more time, you know, to be with their families and to move around, you know. So, especially if you're going to a restaurant or something like that, you're going to leave more time,
Yes,
you know,
leave more
and things
time.
like that. So,
Yeah.
I think that will do well for us.
Somebody from Carmelita sent a text and said, "What's the reason for the checkpoint still up by the toll bridge?"
Well, the checkpoint up at Toll Bridge, that is a standing checkpoint at this point in time, and I think it is important to have that checkpoint because remember, one is it is there to ensure people abide by the curfew, you know, and to ensure safety for people who are traversing those areas, you know, and I think having the checkpoint out there, I think it is good because it stands at the toll bridge. And that is the entrance basically to our community.
Mm-hmm.
And it is not only there to look after the curfew and the movement of people, you know, but it is there to deter crime and deter criminals and things like that, you know. So the police have a tremendous task to do. It's not they're not only they worry about the curfew, then they worry about the detection of crime and other things, you know. So I think that checkpoint will carry on out there.
Yeah. Also, somebody wants to know which days you give clinic at your office.
Well, at my office it's open. I am in and out of office because I go to Belmopan likewise. So, and it all depends what comes up during the week, you know. But I am usually in and out. I usually go there because, you know, we have to sign recommendations. We have other things we have to do. Look at what is happening and what needs to be done. But we always have competent staff at the office. So.
But you not being at the office, Minister, there is some assistance that person needs that can get done at the office without your presence there?
Yes, we have services that we provide to assist our residents in the area, and of course to the entire constituency. So definitely we have our office, that personnel that work there, to tend to these requests. No, so the office is open because definitely our constituents have a place to go, you know, to look at what the issues are and things, and we do our best to see how we can resolve those issues, you know. So the office is open. I do my best to be there at least twice for the week. I try to there.
We're not going to schedule date right
well,
now.
Right now, usually Thursdays and Wednesdays are the days I try to be there. Okay. It all depends what comes up. I know, for instance, Monday I will be in Belmopan, as I need to go to Belmopan Monday, and I think I'll also be back in Belmopan Wednesday. Okay. But for sure, next week Thursday I'll be around. Yeah. You know, and then even if Friday. When I mean I'm in and out is because I go to the office, tend to who they're there, etc. Then I come out and go do one or two other things and come back. So, you know, but we have competent people there. We have Mr. Ponce who works with me also. He's in the office there. And we are there trying to do. So, you know, somebody might need one drum like from a constituency, then go in at the office.
You still have the drums?
Yes, we're still assisting people with garbage drums. You know, we have a high demand and that's so we are trying to catch up with all of those things, but definitely, you know, those are small things that we are doing, but there's a lot of other things that we lend ourselves to try to assist people.
Yeah, is there a number for the office?
Yes. We have an office number, and that is important. You bring it up because sometimes, you know, I always tell people, you know, go check and say, you know, have to reach way there, but it is always good for us to go out there and you know, to drop by and see what we do. Our number is 322-3278. That's the office number.
3278. Okay, so that's the number for the office there for the person.
322-3278.
And they are able persons there to answer the phone and to listen to your concerns.
We have people there, and we, you know, because the truth of the matter is I can't there every day, but because, you know, I have to go Belmopan and other things, we are trying to follow up on a lot of people requests, and so I have to go to Belmopan to look at these things. But definitely when I come back, we looked at who all had come to the office, and we see what we could do for them, you know.
Yeah. Somebody else just sent a text, and they're asking about if you can expand a little bit about the press conference with the Minister of Education, and when will it be, if it's today?
No, I think the Ministry of Education, the Mr. Honorable Patrick Faber had slated the press conference to be, I think, today or yesterday. I think yesterday, no? I'm not too sure, but anyway, it has been postponed till Monday.
So Monday.
So Monday, yeah. I'm not too sure the time. I think it's about 10 o'clock on Monday. So he should be addressing the nation in terms of the Ministry of Education. And I think things that will be highlighted there will be looking at when classes will be open. I think CSET exams, these things about subsidy and that. I think all of these issues will be looked at because these are very important discussions that the nation needs to have, especially in terms of how we get our kids back to school. Because as a parent, you want to know what happened if school open and go say August. Well, first of all, we need to know when they are open so we could plan for that. Two, what happened to my child when they go to school? Will they have social distancing?
They have to carry masks,
we
whatever.
have to carry masks. What are the new regulations or guidelines to assist? So all of these things are questions and concerns to parents, and I think that that is why the Ministry of Education, I think that Patrick Faber is having this press conference to highlight people in terms of the Ministry of Education's plan on the way forward in terms of school, And so I think it is important for parents to tune in so that they can see and hear what is happening,
And that will be on Monday.
On Monday, from what I've gotten to understand.
So we should be having that right here on Channel 10, and I believe it will be on the East Radio as well, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so everyone can tune in on Monday to hear the presentation of the Ministry of Education, which will be hosted by the Honorable Minister, Honorable Patrick Faber. Minister, anything else you need to add before we go down? This man, Aroma don't open for this man,
Yeah, I
Rahim
think
want going.
Yeah, Rahim.
I have a call here coming on this phone. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Yeah, you don't put the number for the telephone, you only got the text number.
Oh, for
two people don't call me, they say they want to call, but they don't see the number.
Oh, it's 302-2170.
302-2170.
That's for the show, right?
Yeah.
I think we just need to repeat the number more, Minister. It's on the screen, but like how people listen on the East Radio.
They don't got a vision,
right?
They can't see the numbers.
So folks, the number is 302-2170. 302-2170 for the person. I mentioned it earlier, but I think I should have mentioned it some more. So people. So we just have to remind ourselves about that when you're on that. Persons that are listening on the East Radio is 302-2170 to call the talk show. So, Minister, time for us to go. Your closing remarks.
Time fly.
Messages you have to send out?
Oh, my thing is that I think that there's not a country without challenges right now with this COVID-19, right? I mean, no matter how big and powerful these countries were or are,
Yeah.
We go take this.
Can take this call?
Make we take the call. I think it.
All right, somebody call. Okay, Minister, go through. If the person call back, we will try to see if we can get the call.
With the wrap up,
we need to hear people's concerns as well, right?
Yeah, but like I said, no matter how big and powerful these countries are across the globe, all of them have been impacted by COVID-19. The Great America has been impacted by the COVID-19. Central America, the region. Look at the Caribbean countries who have similar economies to ours have also been impacted. I think Belize has fared well, like I said last time. The government has did a tremendous task, and I think they have made the right decisions at the right time to safeguard this country. But that does not come about without issues and problems that we must solve as a nation. When we talk about the foreign currency issue, when we talk about the reopening of schools, when we talk about how we stand financially, what programs will be carried on, how do we get the economy back, how do we open for tourism, what is the situation with our borders, what is the security implications, the impact it has on our national security. All of these things must be encompassed, and I think that it's not without challenges, but I'm confident that as a nation we will get over this, as a nation, and as a people we will do what is necessary to move this country forward. I ask people for patience, and I ask people, and I know that the government and those people who are directly responsible in terms of the Ministry of Finance under the leadership of the Prime Minister and other important ministries, I am sure that they get the kind of discussions, they get the kind of advice necessary in terms of them making the right decision for this country. And like I said, it doesn't come without issues, and then not even the leader of opposition can say that the government has not done well for this country. You understand me? How we move forward now is the important thing, and of course, like I said earlier today, those discussions are being held across our community, whether in the business sector, whether in the agriculture sector, whether in the national security sector. Wherever we are, people are having these discussions because it impacts our lives. And I am confident that we will overcome these challenges with time, just like any other nation. And I'm sure that if we do the right things, we will come out of this even for maybe improvement for the greater and the greater in terms of the economy of this country, and of course for the long haul that we're hearing, because Belize is bigger than anybody, bigger than me and you, Checky, bigger than any one person.
Yes, true.
Long after we are gone, Belize continues to move forward. We want to see that continue in the right direction, and all I will say, Checky, is that as a people, as Belizeans across this country, we just need to do our part. And I'm sure that things will work out. The Prime Minister is doing his best, as far as I know, in terms of looking at dealing with the foreign revenue issue and all of these things. But we have to know that we are not out of it as yet in terms of the COVID. The virus is still raging in our neighbors, it's still raging in the world. And I do think that with time we're going to come for learn how to live with this thing. I think we are learning as a nation that, we're not isolated, we are impacted by everything that happens out there. And this just goes to show in our economy how we have been impacted through the absence of tourism. So definitely I think these are lessons that Belize will take in fully to be better at it next time. And all I say is that we have done a good job. I think the people of this nation has done a tremendous job in working alongside the government and alongside the entities who are responsible, like the Department of Health Services, etc. I think they have done a fantastic job. To everybody who is working on ensuring that this country moves and progresses forward, whether you are law enforcement, whether you are Coast Guard, whether you are BDF, whether you are the nurses, the doctors, the teachers, I think everybody has done their part. And I must commend Belizeans across this country. And I look forward to seeing we move out of this COVID situation and bring back our economy. All of these things will have to happen, and no matter if it will, or a question of it happen or not happen, it will happen. It has to happen, because it is imperative that it happens. And I am sure that the government want nothing better than to get this economy back on track. And like I said, yes, the COVID-19 was a curveball, but like in baseball, we're getting a chance to hit that out with a home run, so we just have to get top of the game.
Yeah. Okay, so persons that want your number, they can call the office, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Repeat that number one more time.
The 322-32-78. Right now,
so any information you have for the minister, you can call that number.
Yeah, 322-32-78.
322-3278. 322-3278 is the
office number, right?
Office number for
East.
Aragon East constituency. So, folks, thank you very much, Minister.
No problem, Checky. It's a pleasure being here, and of course, I want to thank all of the listeners out there. And I think we should have advised people to, if you have flooding, etc., they could call NEMO. NEMO office, and NEMO will go there, do an assessment, see what is the situation, and see what they can do, because that is their primary responsibility, is looking after the issues of disaster and things like that, emergencies, and so definitely they could lend a hand there,
Yeah, and somehow if you cannot reach NEMO because you don't have credit and so, their office is located right between Orangewa Technical High School and the Orangewa Multipurpose Complex.
Right.
Someone is always there, so you can go there and talk to them about your situation.
Right.
Because we got more rain.
Yeah, we got more rain, and so everybody just have to buckle down, especially people in the low-lying areas.
True, yeah. Well, Minister, we expect to have you back again on Wednesday.
Sure,
if anything changes, I know you will still make a day in the week.
No, man, definitely.
But we're here, and this show repeats tonight at 8 o'clock, and tomorrow 10 o'clock in the morning. This show will repeat tomorrow 10 o'clock in the morning. We'd like to thank you all who tune in. We have the repeat of Channel 7 News, and that comes up today at 12, then 6 o'clock this evening. We got the live Channel 7 News, Robert Cheke Usher and Minister Aragon. We'd like to thank you very much. Join us, Youth Connection Band, on our Facebook page this Saturday from 5 until 7. We are doing a virtual graduation party for some folks in Los Angeles, California.
You know, he's international.
What happened, Minister? We have embarked, Youth Connection Man have embarked on a new platform. Since you know there's no entertainment going on, so we are doing marketing in the US right now, and persons hire us to do a virtual party, and they put on their stereo home and their TVs, and they share it with their families, so they still enjoy themselves. So it's just a way of trying to
that's good. That's
bring in a little employment. So
innovative, man. Yes.
Yeah, we have to do something.
You have to. And that's a good idea. They can't give another personalized band than that.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So Youth Connection Man will be live tomorrow from 5 until 7 Belize time. Tune in, and remember, folks, curfew is until 9 o'clock tonight.
That's right.
And tomorrow, Sunday to Thursday, it goes back to 8 o'clock. And if the kids are out after 8 or after 6, once a day with appearance, they're all right. But remember, keep that special eye on the kids. Folks, we'll see you again on Monday morning.
SugarCity Morning Show.
Have you ever noticed the development that's taking place in your town or in your city? Maybe it's because you've been too busy enjoying the results. More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward. Our economy benefits when goods and mobile services get to their destination quickly. When citizens are able to travel without frustration and undue hurdles, everyone benefits as well. The government of Belize is happy to announce the imminent upgrades to the Carazal-Sartaneja Road. 27 miles of road will be upgraded to paved standards and will include the replacement of 2 ferries with new bridges.
Why is it that we're going to invest in Sartaneja?